Gotta unmute the mics. Welcome back to another episode of UHS Presents, everybody. I am your host, Sevra, and with me is a whole bunch of other people. Lori, always. I don't know how to say that. Lori. I'm so bad at pronouncing. I've only ever read it, never heard it pronounced.
I think we're not supposed to be able to pronounce it. It's just supposed to be like
intelligible,
unintelligible sounds.
Yes. Yes.
It's in fairness, Lovecraft never had a pronunciation that he settled on in his life, so you can say whatever you want, however you want it, pretty much.
Works for me.
There you go.
Works for me.
Fair enough.
We are,
and I suppose I'm as close to a Lovecraft scholar as exists in the world. Being
I thought you were going to call yourself a Lovecraft slut there for a second, and that would have been I would have never stopped laughing.
I mean, I guess I'm a Lovecraft slut too. I mean, I have done so much in his name for the last 5 years.
Well, anyway, okay, so as you all know, we are here today to launch the all-new, what's the new and improved? Cthulhu is hard to spell.
I don't like to say improve. Let's not say improve. We spiffed it up a little, but
it was pretty damn good the way it was. It's already pretty damn good. We just added a few, like accessories. We accessorized it. That's what we did. And we're launching that here.
New and very good and also different.
Bedazzled.
That's not quite as, that doesn't have the ring to it as new and improved, but I mean, we gotta get the ShamWow guy over here to do that for us, I think.
Yes. We need a better hype man. Yes.
Well, anyway, so obviously
you guys internally can say that it's new and improved, but I can't physically say that it's improved. Like, they're my books. Like, the originals are my books. Like, also great though. They are great. I love the new stuff.
They're all great. It's all great.
They're all great.
Everything's great. And obviously, with us here today is Russell Nolte, kind of, the creator, the innovator, the person who thought this idea up and brought it to the world. And then one of the contributors,
editor, maybe.
Yeah, whatever you know. What you pick your job title on this. You get to be whatever you want.
The OG, the OE.
I have not thought about it at all until this moment, which is why I have so many notes right now.
Nice. Well, also we're joined by Timothy Fling, one of the contributors, and thank you very much for coming, and of course thank you, Russell, for coming too. And we kind of did last night's live stream, our weekly show. We kind of did a prelude here. We kind of did some I don't know, Lovecraft deconstruction, but today is all about Cthulhu, and the quintessential question of whether or not it is in fact hard to spell.
Well, as I mentioned before, it's not hard. The joke is that it's not hard to spell. You can spell it any way you dang well please, because Lovecraft never settled on a pronunciation on his life. That's the whole joke of the whole thing. Like, that's the whole meta joke of the whole thing, that no one has actually ever said that they found out. So if you're a joke, you have to actually tell people. It's not really a joke, but it's it
kind of ruins the joke, yeah.
Well, the whole original first volume was the cover was a blackboard where the teacher had written Cthulhu like 2 dozen times in different ways.
Right.
The joke is that, like, you're only supposed to be able to summon Cthulhu if, like, you say the name correctly, but he spelled it and said it so many different ways because it doesn't matter, and still summoned him and got eaten.
I personally think that that Lovecraft was just giving the finger to the English language as a whole, because the English language is, as we've covered on this show previously, a hot mess. And so like this was Lovecraft being like, I do what I want because everybody else in the English language does what they want.
Well, if you know anything about Lovecraft, you would know he pretty much gave the finger to everyone, so probably also gave the finger to the English language.
It's true.
Yeah, it's in character. That sounds right. Mm-hmm. Hey, Andrew.
Hey, Andrew. Thanks for joining us. Yeah. Oh. Got other stuff. Why? Like, okay, everything locked up for a second, and I started to panic, but it's okay now. Hi, Keith. This is Keith, and he's we're gonna come into play here shortly. We're gonna talk about some of Keith's stuff too, and yes, I'm like so excited for you guys to see this stuff. I'm so excited. But
yes, Russell has seen it. I don't know if Tim saw the whole campaigner.
I don't know if it got
I don't think so.
shown to everybody yet, but yeah. The intention was there to show y'all, but it didn't happen. So now you get to see it along with the rest of the world.
Yeah, groups are like that. Like either everyone in the group sees the thing that you post or nobody sees it, and I don't know how to control it. So it's random. It's a lottery. It's
Using Facebook has its drawbacks too as a production type thing, but it is what it is. And now you get to see it, so we're good.
I'm looking forward to it.
Exciting. Ooh, Andrew, it's not a Crank Stomper link today.
Yeah,
it's an all.
We need a weird word for backer kit now.
A Borker Court crack link.
Well, I think it's so new you don't really need to say. You can just say backer kit.
But that's no fun.
Yeah,
it's true.
What kind of creative are you?
Theoretically, Andrew, if things work the way they're supposed to, it should be uhstudios.com/backit. And if you go to that link right now, it should show you a preview of the campaign. Theoretically.
Okay. I'm putting
We're
up
new to
the
this,
banner.
so there might be glitches. Let me know.
Oh, I see
but it should work.
Yeah.
Yes.
I see it, Nori.
Yes.
Yes.
There we go. I did.
That's correct, Andrew. We're trying something new.
This is
so exciting.
This is very exciting. You don't get this on Kickstarter where they have like the time countdown.
Yeah, that's a thing. Let me put the thing. I usually just share the page here, and I can share the whole damn tab today because it's
also
counting down for us. Look at this thing.
510. That's a lot of people. That's
right?
a lot of people following along.
It's very, very exciting to see the amount of interest.
Join the cult. I mean, what cult? We're not in a cult.
I do love these covers. I especially love this one of Cthulhu in the Bath. I love them all, but I think I love the Cthulhu in the Bath one just a little bit more. But I do have a soft spot for cartoony covers.
Yeah, and that cover with Cthulhu in the Bath is done by Emily Manival, who is brand new. Like, she's in college and she just did an internship with Freestyle Comics, and we loved her work, and we were like, hey, you want to try this? And it's her first cover.
I mean, so good.
It's fantastic.
It's got direction. The eye lines are right. Like, it's got like a whole story in one image. Like, she nailed it.
Yeah, I'm super impressed.
I mean, they all nailed it. But like, Stan has been nailing it for years.
Yeah, Stan's it's just second nature at this point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's not fair when you just are like, well, it's just Stan did another amazing cover, yawn. But like, that's being said, like, I expect amazingness from Stan, and he delivered.
Yeah.
Although I've never I don't know who this Javiera Argadana is. Also, just a phenomenal cover.
Yeah, she's also she started doing covers for us last year. We just discovered her. She works on kind of her own web comics, but we started working with her, and again, she's absolutely fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
What I love about these covers is, like, you have the quintessential Lovecraft image for one. Like, to me, like, Cthulhu rising out from the deep is like the quintessential, you must have this image. And then you have like the quintessential Cthulhu is hard to spell image, which is taking everything I just said and like making it a joke of it. And then you
Right.
have Stan's, which is like just horrific and cute at the same time. So it's thematically all of the things that Lovecraft is Cthulhu is Hard to Spell is about. So like in these three images, you have like the traditional, the satirical, and then like the melding of both of those things together.
Yeah, I buy that. Yeah, I buy that.
Yeah, that was the intent. So I'm glad it came through.
Did you end up doing a variant for this one with the blood by any chance, or an image for this for the Staniak cover?
So currently the one with the blood is on the t-shirt, and if we offer it as a cover, it will be as a stretch goal.
Yeah. Because you guys don't know, if you guys have not been part of the Cthulhu brand before, the Cthulhu is Hard to Spell is a no blood brand. So to have an image potential that has blood on it is like a hopefully very exciting for you who do know Cthulhu is Hard to Spell, and like a very special for like those of you who are backing for the first time. You'll get a lot of horrific stuff inside the pages of Cthulhu is Hard to Spell, but like our rule has always been no blood, no sex, no violence you can't see on Saturday morning television, and no cursing, so you can share it with your 5-year-old even if they don't understand what's going on.
Right. And Stan's cover, so Stan initially, of course, gave me the cover and there was blood everywhere because he's eating people. And it's hard to see that he's eating people. It's subtle until you zoom in.
I didn't actually know.
Let's zoom in. Let's do that.
I didn't know that it was happening.
Well,
she said, what about the people eating?
Yeah, so this one has been changed, so he's not currently eating people because we discussed with Russell.
Yeah, it's very ambiguous here.
He's holding the people, but there is a version, and we used it for the t-shirt, and we might do a variant cover where his mouth is filled with people and there's blood everywhere.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Even though I told Stan to make it all ages, he was like, oh, that's fine.
Yeah. Well, because the cover of the second volume, the original second volume, there's people in his hands. And so I was like, yeah, that's fine with people in his hands. Then I don't know, 2 hours went by or something, or the next day went by, and I looked at it again, just happened to be up, and I was like, wait, is there blood there? It's like that. Maybe you showed me like the actual page, and like it was blown up bigger, and I was like, wait, you can't. That's a lot of blood. She's like, but they told me it was fine, and I was like, but it's so subtle, I didn't know.
What's up, John?
Like, the key with the Cthulhu is Hard to Spell brand is making it horrific without making it bloody, which I think is very much in the ethos of like a Lovecraft story, which was, how can I mentally make you unsettled, but still be telling a rather boring story in general?
Mm-hmm.
Laura,
I might be.
CGI?
I feel like my
I'm
brain kind of feels
CGI,
like I am.
So.
I've had about 4.5 hours of sleep, and then I put this makeup on, so I don't know. I might not be real. We don't know.
Laurie is present, and that's really all we should ask of her today.
Oh gosh.
Ticker. I'm all about the ticker.
This is very not nerve-wracking, but like the excitement, I can feel it building as the minutes pack down. I've never done this live before, so
well,
yeah, it's kind of fun.
We have the music kind of building the tension behind us, which is a nice touch.
Yeah, and right before we go live, we'll play the trailer as well for everyone. So everyone watching the stream actually gets like kind of the early sneak peek, I guess. And then we'll launch, and hopefully it just launches when I click the button.
Yeah.
This is the first for us, so I don't know what's going to happen.
This was all new to like backer kit very first time. We don't know what the hell's gonna happen. So, this is part of the fun, right? We could just explode and like there'd just be a giant crater where the United States used to be. It could happen. We don't know.
Well, Laura, I think, picked the right partner to like do this, because she's like, I want to do backer kit. And I was like, yeah, I don't care. Like, do whatever weird thing you want to do. It's fine with me.
Yeah, we're trying something new, and BackerKit seemed really excited about it. So it should be interesting. It should be fun.
Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff that was really awesome about setting it up in BackerKit, and a few stressful things.
A few stressful things because it's a beta thing, but a few things that were made it very easy to design and set up that I really appreciated. So
yes, the launch might actually summon Cthulhu. I didn't want to scare anybody, but that could happen too.
But my favorite thing is all these people are spelling Cthulhu in the not traditional way that you would spell Cthulhu, making my point for me.
Exactly.
Well, why is there a fucking H in it though?
Because the second H is for horror. So that was originally going to be the name of the third book, but I thought it was too long. But like the way you remember Cthulhu, the thing that everyone forgets is the second H. So you just have to remember the second H is for horror when you're writing it out. Most people, after they hear that, do not do it again.
That's fair.
I like that.
But the best part is almost every contributor for the first 2 volumes spelled the name of Cthulhu wrong on the contract. Even though it's on the contract, they spelled it wrong.
Yes.
They spelled it wrong in their story. Like, I've never seen so many, like the name of the book is right there. And so many people over 3 volumes errored.
Yeah, when I worked with BackerKit to set up the campaign, they gave me a URL and they spelled it wrong. So I had to get them to change it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I misspelled it a lot in the beginning when we first started messing around on this, and also did not spell it in the non-traditional way either. I completely butchered it because I was trying to go with a like CHTHULHU, and it was madness. I had to look it up, and I was like, that's normally autocorrect on my phone is just a monster to me, but in this situation, I would have looked like an insane person.
Yeah.
Every single time I was trying to talk to anybody about this book for the first at least week I was typing about this book.
Well, you get really good. First of all, when your name is constantly misspelled, you get very good at knowing how to spell names. But once you've done this book, it's like so hard. Editing this book is so hard, y'all, because Cthulhu is like the easiest name to spell in the whole canon. Maybe Azeolith or Dagon are easier, but like they are so hard. They're so hard.
The frog one has a crazy name, doesn't it? I don't remember what it is because it's so weird.
Tisagorith. Yes, TSUAGGUA or something like that. Like it's but that's not even close to the hardest one.
No.
The hardest one is
that is one of them.
That's a very hard one.
Nyarlathotep. What?
No, Nyarlathotep is an easy one.
Nyarlathotep?
To...
Well, see, now that has a much more appropriate number of vowels to consonants.
That's true.
That's what when we were talking about how to Cthulhu or Lovecraft our names before the show started. I was like, I don't know how to do Lori. Mine was easy, but like we'll have to and then I was just like, just start deleting.
You just want to get
That's what you do.
glottal stops, and additional vowels.
I think the trailer's a minute 15, so we should play it soon.
Okay, let's do that.
Quattro Utatis is the hardest one.
What?
You're gonna have to show us how to spell that immediately after we launch.
Yes, okay, let's do this. On. Let's do our trailer here quickly, and then we'll start doing the exciting part. All right? Are we ready? You better be ready because I'm starting it now.
That was great. That made me laugh a lot. I love the under new management.
Cool.
3, 2, 1. Oh, it didn't do anything like that. Backer Kid, I'm disappointed in you. How dare you
should
count
be
down and then
live.
just not explode? Boom. Live. Look at that. Oh, this comes up onto our stream so much cooler looking than the Kickstarter ones do.
Nice.
Hey. All
I'm
right.
excited about that.
I see it live. It's live.
Nice.
Who's
Yeah,
going to
we
be
should
the
all be
first
getting about
person
8
to
million
back
emails
this
now,
campaign at Backer Kit?
Yes, first backer will still get a first backer reward, as we have talked about. You guys get a plaque and shit. So let's see who's number one. If it tells
Who's
me,
number
let's
one?
look at the.
It better tell ya. Am I gonna have to I don't know, because I don't have to continuously hit reload on Kickstarter, but do I have to on Backer Kit? We're gonna find out.
It's interesting. I thought you would get an email like right after it launched, but I didn't get an email and I signed up.
Yeah, interesting. Let's see. Maybe it's delayed.
Maybe.
Did anybody
will
get an
find
email?
out.
Anybody who's watching, did y'all get an email? You're supposed to get an email.
I should get one too, because I also did, because I wanted to see
Yeah.
what would happen.
I did not.
Well, let's give it a
This
minute.
is a little anticlimactic, wasn't it?
Right.
Well, while we're waiting for this, I want to show my the hardest name to spell.
You got it. Let me put you on solo. There you go.
All right. The hardest name to spell in all of the Cthulhu books is from the first volume. See this?
Ah.
There are 3 T's in this word.
Why?
That's right. This is right. It's 3 T's. I still don't think it's right. I mean, maybe it is wrong. I'm literally looking at it like that literally can't be correct. It's the only book. I went through this singular story at least 100 times, thinking that I feel like I still got it wrong. So
That's
yeah,
so weird.
I am an expert on all of these crazy. There we go. Okay, it just came through. It took an extra minute and a half or something.
I think that the good thing about this being about the names and stuff being spelled the way they are, and the intentions that Lovecraft had behind spelling them that way, is that nobody's gonna notice if you fuck it up. Probably. Well, I mean, some people will notice.
That is not
some people
like this
will
is
notice.
a Lovecraft. This is a love
certain
letter
type
to
of people will
Lovecraft.
notice.
The people
But,
that buy this book absolutely would rip me to shreds if you.
That's fair. But like, I won't notice, and people who aren't like hardcore, like devoting your life to Lovecraft nerds. I mean,
well,
I have plenty of Lovecraft in my head, but I also have a lot of other stuff, so I can't focus in on things like spelling all the names right.
Well, here's the thing. I feel like you're going to get a lot more practice at Lovecraft names in the next couple of years. Like,
I do suspect this is going to happen, yes.
I did not think I would become a Lovecraft expert. I did not sign up to be a Lovecraft expert, but I did. Yet I did, because when you do a book about a human using the human's creations, oh man, you become an expert in that human's life. There are so many things about Lovecraft I wish I did not know. Hey,
we got a backer.
Yay!
And it's a big one. Holy shit. Okay, now it's going up. Whoa. Look at it go now. And now Andrew's asking who got number 1.
Okay, let me check.
Seriously, Andrew, I already owe you 1 plaque. Like, I mean, we had some technical difficulties, but Jeffrey, I think Jeffrey's been helping me, because I have been not doing it the smart way, and I kept having problems with the laser engraving, but now I got it. because thank you for Jeffrey for your help, and now we could actually send him out. So I'm pretty excited about that because I got a little bit of a backlog.
Yeah, and it was Andrew.
Andrew.
There's actually a timestamp.
Nice. You don't get a timestamp on the Kickstarters?
Not so easily accessed. I don't think so. No.
You have to download the thing after the campaign to see the timestamp.
Yeah.
It's annoying. You don't get it right then and there.
That's lame. So, Russell, before we're gonna go through all of the stuff that we get here, but first, I actually have been meaning to ask you this question for a while, and you probably have answered it for me already. But, what inspired this idea? What inspired the whole anthology series? Like, why did you want to do this?
Okay, so we did a book called Monsters and Other Scary Shit, which was not all ages appropriate. Interestingly, Stan Yak is easily the one that makes it the least all ages appropriate story in the whole book because it is so violently bloody.
Knowing what I know about Stan, that's not surprising. His art is amazing.
It's one of the best stories in the whole thing, but it is
so gory.
Incredibly violent. Like, yes. Wonderful, but incredibly violent. And so we delivered that campaign, and we were like, well, what is like the problem? Because people weren't buying it when it came onto our table. Probably too inside baseball. It's not like a magical story about like whimsical, like me always loving Lovecraft, but like I was like, what is wrong with this book? And they were like, 1, it's not all color. 2, I can't share it with my 5-year-old. 3, like, it's just a bunch of monsters. Like, there's no theme. So I was like, all right, well, like, I can fix those things. Like, what do you want? What's your favorite fandom? And then it very resoundingly was Lovecraft. Shockingly, because I have a Ichabod Jones Monster Hunter fandom, and they were like, Lovecraft. Like, those two go together like peanut butter and honey. And so, meanwhile, as I was doing this, my friend Tyler published this book called C is for Cthulhu. And when he launched that book, I was like, it's true, Cthulhu is hard to spell. And like it all like came together in that moment where the next 5 years of my life were determined by that one random moment Facebook post. And so it was all about being all ages.
So you literally had a eureka moment on this thing. Like you literally had eureka moment.
I did. Wow. It was like I have
you
a lot of
see it in the movies all the time, but it hardly ever happens in real life.
I feel like I've had so many eureka moments in my life. It's most of my good ideas have come from like, oh, that would be a good idea, and then spending the next 10 years on it.
So you're like the Dr. House of authors then. All these eureka moments.
I think that in order to have like a great idea, it takes you marinating it on for a long time. And when you are in the thick of it, you tend to just want every idea to be the thing that you make next. And I think I personally got very good at taking my time and finding ways to make all of these like weird niche topics like mold together in a way that made sense. And so my career has had a lot more eureka moments because I've been like, how do I get somebody to buy Ichabod? It's like, well, I probably need something more popular to show them and then pair them together. And it's like, maybe it's monsters, then maybe it's Cthulhu. And like, it was a lot of like being stuck with super niche topics and then pulling out from there and then figuring out how to make like Ichabod and Katrina sell.
Very cool.
Again, that's not very magical, but it is the truth.
It's
Andrew,
so cool.
you did.
You sure did, Andrew. Now I'm not promising because now that we've got it figured out, like I promised like 3 different times in the past that we've got them figured out and we're sending them out this week, and then it never happened because something went wrong. And so now I'm not promising anything. And
Okay.
but we've got things figured out now, which is pretty cool. But anyway,
I think you do have to refresh because we're way above that number now.
yeah, it popped up a few times there. It's like I don't have to refresh it every time, but apparently that's unreliable.
A spooky heist, a sacrificial rite, you know, I mean, same difference.
Yes, thank you. We appreciate it. I don't know how long Lori spent on her face, but I spent a few minutes on this. I told Lori that I just went all toddler on my own face with black lipstick. That's what I just scribbled all over my face with my black lipstick. It was
look
pretty
like
fun.
a cultist, though. I like
Yeah.
it.
That was what I was trying to do. I was looking at it, and I was like, I had like the rings of yesterday's makeup that were still stuck because I didn't do a very good job wiping it off last night. And so I'm like looking at it, and I'm going, oh my god, I'm gonna have to like do a full shower and like scrub my face and get everything off. And then I was like, wait a minute, I can just lean into this. I don't need to shower. Showering's for people who have their life together. Did you catch Matt's? Costume game is on point. Sarah looks like the only one who probably the one who probably stabs the sacrificial version, and Lori looks like she moonlights in a Swedish metal band. Very cool.
Swedish metal, obviously the best. Thanks for the reference.
Trying to find. You remind me of a character in one of the stories, but I can't pull it off the top of my head, Lori. So I'm going to look for it while we're all watching this go up more and more and more. Although I guess I should thank this mask is from Felix Ian. So thank you, Felix, who worked with me on Monsters and Other Scary Shit.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's very nice to just be able to.
As far as masks I got this go, is it pretty fun to wear?
These
pretty
are from,
easy to wear?
It's pretty hot to wear. It's pretty hot. Like I don't wear it very well. I don't wear it very much anymore because you're not supposed to wear cloth masks. But it's also pretty heavy and constricting. But in this particular instance, it looks cool. So,
and that's what's most important.
Yes.
All right, Nicholas asked, were you ever tempted to have Cthulhu misspelt on the cover?
Yes. Well, the first cover, the very, very first cover kind of got...
Yeah,
it is important to note that that Nicholas spelled Cthulhu correctly in the comments, so...
Because if you look at the cover, you'll see that the original first cover had it misspelled like 100 times, so I kind of got that out of my system.
Nice. All right, so... let's refresh here quick, make sure we're good. And let's start looking at some of these rewards that we got here. This is like the first official time I've scrolled through it live. I've seen it a few times while we were setting it up, but... oh, this is cool.
Yeah, so you can skip to the different sections if you want to.
Well, first I have to move my 800 windows out of the way of it.
So that frog god that you were talking about, Lori, is... Tsathagua. Tsathagua.
I like how it kind of sounds like a frog sound.
Yes.
Oh. This is fun.
Especially at the end.
Yes.
Oh, so I guess let's look at these rewards here first. This is first 48 hours, right? The early bird stuff. You got to back it now. Like now.
The 2 early bird ones shown there are the first week. For the first 48 hours, you get a Cthulhu mini print. For the first week, you get those 2 early bird deals.
Oh, so you get a week on the early bird specials. I never remember how long the early bird things go for because it's always different. And I'm watching everybody else's, all our friends' campaigns, and I never remember which one is what. But anyway, if you back it today, then you don't have to worry about it. You get the early bird. So
you get then you get everything. That's the easiest way to go.
Yeah.
Do the thing. So you get super good great deal on the digital pack. Like this is you get all 3 for $25. And if you want if you're like me and you prefer the paper versions, the actual physical copies, $70 gets you all 3 of those. Pretty cool. We're not gonna read that right now. That's a lot of words. This is some examples of art. Like if you go to uhstudios.com/backit, then you can look at all this stuff on your own screen, which is probably much nicer than looking at it on ours. But here's some this is examples of the stories that are in here and the art that's in here. It's pretty cool. Whose art is that?
I should probably be looking at this thing because so this is Shannon Kirkwood, who's friends with who I met through Angela Odling, and has become. She said I was intimidating. She still thinks I'm intimidating, I think, but
I thought you were intimidating before the first time that I talked to you, and then I didn't think that anymore. You're a very what's the word? Welcoming.
Unintimidating?
Yeah. Like you seem like you're very no bullshit all business, but when you actually talk, you're very you put everybody at ease really quickly. So I stopped being intimidated after I first met you. So, but yeah, nice. No, this art is beautiful. This one was as I was going through it 1,000 times, and it just keeps jumping out at me. I just love this one.
So she did 3 stories for us. She's one of the few that did 3 stories.
Awesome.
And and then this is Matt, and then Kelsey, and then Claire. The bottom one is one of the few other people who've done 3 stories across the 3 anthologies, and it's so spooky and ooky, and I love it so much.
I love Claire's artwork. I've been a fan of hers for a long time. So
yeah, same. I kept scrolling as we were putting this stuff together, and I kept looking through it for I was just all I was trying to do was like check for errors for Lori, but I kept getting distracted by all the art. But this one here in particular, I would scroll past it and I was gonna be like, I know that art. Who the hell made that? I know like that. She has a very distinctive style for drawing people, and I kept looking at it and going, I know that person. I know who that is.
Well, and I think that it's like if you take what I was trying to do with Cthulhu, one of them was to tell very adult stories that were psychologically very difficult, but not bloody and horrific. And I think Claire's stories have that very unsettling quality that I was looking for, and like perfectly encapsulates what we were trying to do across the series. And I love her work because it is very unique, and we have so many very unique stories in this book, and I love them. I was just scrolling through them on my here. I was like, I haven't looked through these in a long time, and I love them all, every one of them.
Yeah,
agreed. Same.
That is Lloyd Ladera and Sarah Anderson as the writer. That is a wordless story, which is very spooky and ooky.
I'm a big fan.
I love Lloyd's. Stories. Lloyd's work is instantly recognizable, and it's really great for Lovecraft stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
He's Lloyd's stuff is like you can tell by his use of color that it's him. Kind of like Ryan Robinson's art. Like you can tell their art just by the color alone. It's just they really have a way with color, and it's so cool. I could just watch this for like a half an hour. It's fun.
See, it's Angela and Eddie, and I can't do this. And Megan Hutchinson, if you like Megan Hutchinson's work, that's one of them. Brandon Perlow, who does a lot of visual effects work. Ryan Fisher, Zach Conley. It's going by too fast. That is Kyle Kaminsky, and I can't think of the artist. He does a lot of Marvel work. So, oh, and that's Leah Seidman. If you like Teen Titans Go, she did a lot of work for that comic.
Well, yeah. If you want to know everybody, if you want to know who did all this art, you got to buy the books. Sorry. Don't make Russell break his brain.
What I really appreciated about this, Ben Herrera, that's the one I was trying to think of, who does a lot of work for Marvel and DC. There was a lot of like relatively unknown artists. It's a lot of indie artists, and there's a lot of like established artists. And I know the second, I don't know if it'll be in these 3 volumes, but Paul Jenkins is one of the artists that one of the writers that we worked with. Ray Anthony Height, Megan Hutchinson, Leah Seidman, Trina Robbins, just like legends, and also then a bunch of amazing indies that we know that I know pretty well, like Timothy and David Pepos, although he's not indie anymore, or probably not known as an indie anymore, but back then he was not working for Marvel, but just so much like collaboration between these like relatively unknowns and like known commodities in the indie world and on Kickstarter, and then known commodities on like the traditional market. And that's really the thing I love most about anthologies, when you can have like new artists that surprise you, established creators who do stories you don't expect, and like it all kind of like molds together well.
It's a good blend.
Okay, so let's see. If you want just one edition, I personally don't recommend that you just get one, because you're going to want the others if you get just one. So, but if you only want one, $10 digital, $25 print. It's a mistake, but... and you only get one there. Like, there's just the $10 gets you one digital edition or one print edition. The $25 gets you one print edition. So you have to, when the campaign is over, you'll get your survey, and then you tell us which one you want. But of course, you get those early birds. If you do that now, you get the early birds and get all of them for the better price. And socks. Lori's very excited about the socks.
I'm so excited about merch. So like, this is the thing that people have been asking me about forever, and I just never do merch. I've done some cool pins, which I believe you can get. You can get the pins as add-ons, right? Lori, did you make that happen?
Yes.
You can still get the pins, but like Lori actually likes merch, and so like she's got all this amazing merch. And so for people that have loved the series before, hopefully they'll be like, wait, there's merch? Well, now there's a whole nother reason to buy it.
Yes. There's not only merch, but we'll get there. There's some more new, really cool shit further down the page as we progress.
Oh, are you saying that you want me to move the page? Okay. Yeah, I mean, $120 is, I mean, the books alone are, well, they're 70 if you buy them now, and then they'll be 75 for all 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they will be.
Yeah. So.
Wait, keep scrolling. What is this thing at 180?
What?
Go down.
Wait,
no,
what?
back.
Oh, down. Oh.
What is this? Wait, what?
What is Indeed? What is this?
You didn't even tell me that this was happening. That is amazing. You said you were thinking about it, but you didn't actually. That's so cool.
Oh,
yes.
It gets better. It gets better. Wait, because you can get it.
What?
Hand painted, custom painted. And that's where. Oh, yes.
That's so great.
That's awesome.
We did talk about this, but like I didn't know it was actually like really, really happening. That is amazing.
Cute Cthulhu.
Yes. And this is by Keith Talbot. He's in the comments, or he was. I don't know if you're still here, but yes. That's his he 3D sculpted it, and he is actually he's actually making them for us. He is 3D printing them, resin printing them, and then he's hand painting the ones. If you get the painted one, he's hand painting them. He sent us progress pics already. They are amazing. It's all amazing. But I mean,
I did
even
post
if you get
some
the
of them.
Unpainted one.
Yes, you can paint it yourself.
Yes, look at this unpainted. Like, look at it. Even with this not great picture, like it's not a very good, because you know, zooming it in, it's gonna get all shitty. But like, look at this thing.
That's
and how
very
cute is this?
Yes, I love it.
And you can't see from this angle, but he has little butt cheeks.
Oh, he sent me links to the little 3D spinny thing to play. We're gonna look at that in a minute. Cause it's adorable from every single angle. Okay, so 188 is that's the retail pack. Probably most everybody don't worry about that, but like for the people who want to sell it, very good deal. But yes, back to limited to only 10 figures. So if you really want one of these suckers, get them now because there's only 10.
Yeah, they're gonna come in a special. There should be an image of it lower down.
There's a
but
picture down here too.
Special box. The box is gonna be numbered. The box is gonna be all the special things designed specially for these 10 figures, and those are the only ones you can ever get. So
yes.
These bookmarks?
Those are the socks. This is the mock-up of the socks.
What?
Oh, wow, cool.
Sock ups. I love that. Those are awesome.
They're sock ups. Oh, I feel we were ripping on Pepsi last night for not calling their peat flavored Pepsi Peepsy.
Yeah.
And then neither one of us came up with sock ups. Come on.
yeah, I don't know what's wrong with that.
I'm fired. Anyway, yeah, freaking cool. You can put Cthulhu on your feet. All right, there's the shirt.
Shirt, that's awesome.
Yeah, dig it.
Shirt. All right, there we go. There's the figure.
That's super cute.
Look at his little toenails.
Suitable for D&D campaigns.
That's true.
I'm just saying, if you happen to have a...
I was gonna say it's too big for that, but no, it isn't because Cthulhu's freaking massive.
Yeah.
You're right.
That's the right size for my board.
So yes.
We have been told for years that people use our anthologies as D&D manuals, monster manuals. So yes, I would say there's a big correlation between people using D&D and like people in this particular brand.
Yeah.
That like Cthulhu and the monster anthology.
Okay, there's a mock-up of the box. And see, this is some of the progress pics that we've been getting. There's, I mean, hand painted. Everything is gonna be, and they're all gonna be painted similarly like this. But like, look at the quality on that.
That's dope.
Yeah, super cool.
I mean, I was looking at the rendering and all the detail that's in them. It's crazy. They're so cute. All right, stretch goals. We're not there yet. You don't get to know what stretch goals are yet. But add-ons, you can add on any of them, of course, any of the books. But then we get to the pins, which is what Russell wanted to know.
I did. I love me some pins. So that's the pin from Volume 1. That's the pin from Volume 3.
This one, I have this one. I
Yeah,
have the championship belt. I didn't jump in on Cthulhu until Volume 3, so I was kind of mad about that. But
And then that's the one for 2. Now, I know it's weird because you're like, wait, there's 3 volumes of this, and there's really going to be 6. But like, the hardcovers and the soft covers are different. These were the wannabe press edition 1, 2, and 3, not the not the Unlikely Hero Studios 1, 2, and 3.
all right, so that's to add on a single copy. $25 gets you the socks. These are we've talked a little bit about them before too. They're dye sublimated, which is it's a process where they basically kind of melt the ink into the fabric so that it's like permanently there. So even if you try to bleach these suckers out, like, don't abuse them. But like, because it's gonna make them really ugly, but it's not gonna take. You're gonna have to use so much bleach, and it's gonna have to be industrial strength bleach to get everything out, and it's gonna destroy the sock before you actually get rid of the color. So, like, just trust me on this. I used to work at one of those places, and I know what I'm talking about. And they run them through this heat press, and it melts the, like, I don't know, opens up the pores of the fabric. The point is, if you take good care of them, they will always be as vibrant as the day that you get them. Except for maybe the toes and heels, because those are the parts that get worn out. And just, if you rub the color off, like, you know, that's what happens.
The toes and heels are black.
So still no problem there, right? Probably?
Yeah, we cheated the system.
$30 for the shirt, which is a pretty good deal if I do say so myself.
Oh, I have to add the graphic for the coffee. The coffee is an add-on, but apparently I forgot the graphic.
Le gasp, yes you did.
But you should be able to buy it.
I actually have some of the coffee, and it's lovely, as long as you're okay with decaf coffee, which I am. Maybe we'll have some after I get off this call, actually.
Yeah, I'm excited to try it. Yeah, you'll have to actually back it to see the coffee. I'll add a graphic for it, but it should be in there.
I'll go and get one. I think I have one somewhere.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Physical bag of coffee, yeah.
It's Cthulhu is hard to caffeinate, and we have a limited number of those. We probably only have about 100. So if you want to try the awesomeness of decaf Cthulhu coffee,
I'm interested.
We have some of those to offer. Yeah.
Coffee. I used to just pound coffee all the time, and now, cause I'm old and our bodies just slowly die on us, and that's what happens. And I'm old now, and I can't drink coffee because my body just kicks it back. Now I get super sick and I get like shaky and stuff. It's not fun, and it makes me so mad because I love the flavor of coffee. I know people say people insist that you're lying when you say you like the taste of coffee, and I don't understand that, because then there are other people who say they like the taste of beer, and I think that that's bullshit, because beer is gross. Beer is like boiled leaves, so it's like tea, but then you let it sit out and rot for a while. Like, I hate beer.
Yeah, I don't get beer.
I don't understand beer at all.
I've tried a multiple times. I've tried, like, people are like, oh, this one's good, you'll really like this one. I haven't found one yet.
Cider's okay. Beer. So I also kept. Let me go out of this here for a second, and then get these things out of the way, and put up this one.
Oh, there you go.
Oh yeah! Look at that.
Has some of the art on the back.
Yeah, nice design.
Let me put you back in solo so we can see it bigger there.
As I mentioned, this is decaf because I'm not supposed to have caffeine, even though I have it every day. It's quite good.
Awesome.
And it has Cthulhu on it.
Yes.
Yeah, Cthulhu coffee. Okay, so okay, let's see this thing. This is the thing that I like saved the link special just to make sure that we could do the spinny thing with it.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's cool. That is super cool.
Nice paint job.
So I believe this is the render, but this is very similar to the paint job that you saw that he actually was putting on the models themselves. So very, very detailed print, very cute.
So this is why, aside from Lori and Sarah being amazing, that they are working on Cthulhu, because they actually care about merch. I care about it. I just don't want to be part of it. I just want to see it and be like, that's cool.
As we
little butt cheeks.
Yes, his little butt. He's got a little butt.
That's so great. I love it.
Look at the wings. Oh man,
super cool.
It just every part of it is just adorable. It's just so cute.
So if you're out there in Cthulhu land and you're like, man, I don't know what I'm gonna get with this new campaign. Like, you can get a Cthulhu with butt cheeks. Like, I've never offered that before.
This is
There
a
you
first.
go.
This is a first. You can get a T-shirt, socks, and a Cthulhu with butt cheeks.
It's just so cute. And there's actually, he did a rendering with like a background and everything. It's going to be on the box on the sides that you can't see of the box there, but
Oh, do we have that scene?
I can get it.
Because that killed me when I saw that. I was like,
I know.
okay.
It's so goddamn cute. It's so cute. You know. All right. Let me see if I can make my computer go.
That's what I'm saying, man. Make your
Do
friends
the
jealous.
thing. All right.
Super cool.
And why do you gotta stop every screen? I don't want to stop every screen. There we go. How freaking cute is that?
Oh yeah.
That's so cute.
Oh, if you two want, yeah, if you two want to make crazy scenes like this, you can with your Cthulhu hand painted figure.
Yes, like Timothy pointed out, when you're playing D&D.
Yeah.
Whoa, that jumped up real high.
All right, now I gotta go back. Gotta go back and see it.
You're off to a good start here.
Nice, thank you guys.
First hour, yeah.
There we go.
Well, there we go. I was gonna say
Yeah.
way higher than that.
I'm gonna have to, when we do backer kit stuff, I'm gonna have to remember to refresh. I'm sure that they'll eventually update that, but yeah, I'm just used to Kickstarter and the automatic refreshing.
Sure.
But
That's some very similar funding to the first hour of our last campaign, so
so cool already.
One thing I don't see in here, and we never talked about, Laura, so I'm going to put you on the spot right now, is what's the number for me to sign some book plates or something for this thing? Like, what am I not signing any book plates or doing anything for it? So,
oh, we can do that.
I'm already going to have to ship you some pins, so.
Okay, yeah, let's figure that out.
You should think of a number and then be like, hey, this is the number for like getting some. I don't know if you're doing the thing that I did, but like I do have these little like address things that you can actually like use to tape onto like the they're like little circle ones, and like they go in the little spot that I have. I don't know if you're doing the same signing pages that I did, but like.
Right. I'm actually still deciding how I'm going to do that. So maybe we need to decide.
Yeah. I mean, it's going well. You're probably going to need at least one stretch goal. So
I hope so.
I hope you're going to need 50 of them.
I do have some planned. I guess we can spoil some of them. I do want to have some kind of metal bookmark or something similar. I do want to have, at a high stretch goal, probably like a slipcase for the 3 books, which I think would be really cool with potentially different art. Trying to remember what I wrote down. There's another pair of socks that we will unlock. I know that. But yeah, I think signed.
What about a t-shirt?
Book plates.
I'm sorry. What
Another
about a
t-shirt?
A sweatshirt? I thought you were. I was like, you guys do all sorts of sweatshirts, and I was expecting like a sweatshirt. Yeah,
we could do a hoodie. We could unlock a hoodie.
I know some people. I know some people on this call like hoodies. I've heard them talk about them many times before.
I love hoodies. Yeah.
Am
Okay.
I the odd one out that I don't care for hoodies?
Maybe. Yeah, I love
it's
hoodies.
not like style like in theory I love hoodies because it's like getting a hug from your clothes, but in actual practice, it's a specific part of my anatomy that makes it kind of end up so that I'm wearing it and then the parts pull and then I end up getting strangled by the hoodie. And
well, I don't want you to be strangled.
Thing. I don't know if I could like cut a slice into the top of the hoodie to like.
Okay,
like
so no hoodies for Sarah,
but
hoodies for everyone else.
I'll take
if we could do a zippered one, then I'd be like great and like put.
You could do like Cthulhu. A balaclava, just like a Cthulhu balaclava.
Mm-hmm.
Go with
There's too many options.
There's so many options, and like if we had like a billionaire corporation money, we could totally do all of these things.
Hey man, it could happen on this campaign.
Cool.
We have never done any merch for the Cthulhu brand except with one exception. I don't even know if it's still on our site, but I did really like these where the heck are they? There they are. Nope. I don't have them on the site. They were like Cthulhu leggings, which just had the Cthulhu face like in triplicate, like 100 times on the legs. Mm-hmm. And I love those things so much.
Oh man, I bet that. Well, actually, you know what? All of these covers would probably look pretty fun on some leggings, as long as we were careful about where the specific parts landed. Because
I'm actually kind of surprised. I've never seen leggings from y'all. Have you guys done leggings before?
No, we haven't. No, yeah, this would be the campaign. Like, it would be cool to have some tentacle leggings or something. I think that would look really cool.
Leggings are to me, they're the perfect thing to do. They're the perfect thing to do for merch. That because like in order, like people are willing to already spend like $100 on good leggings, and like if you get good leggings, like the insane markup you generally have to use to like make it anything work for like on a low price point, like they already work for leggings. Mm-hmm, also, I have these cool Monster and Other Scary Shit pants that I'm wearing right now.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I like those.
Which are just sweats.
Yeah, those are awesome.
Yeah,
you guys haven't dealt a lot with the lowers besides socks that I remember.
Yeah, no. Maybe that needs to be a stretch goal. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we could do it. We can.
Cthulhu like tentacle gloves.
I'm making a note. Oh, impractical but amazing. Yes. Well, no, they wouldn't be impractical if you didn't make like long tentacles. Yeah, no, we could. That could
I was
be
just like too. You print tentacles on regular gloves, but like.
No, I was thinking like actual tentacle fingers, which both ideas are great.
I just noticed both of you are no people when responding to questions. It's a new word that's crept into the American lexicon.
I'm from the Midwest. I get to no all I want, and I also know yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Yeah, no means no, and no, yeah means yeah.
Does it? Okay.
I think,
and yeah, no, yeah, that's just absolute sarcasm. You're full of crap, and that's how you know if somebody says yeah.
I think I adopted it from an Australian friend because she says yeah, nah.
I've noticed it's a new phrase that people use. It's I'm a lover of the English language. You know, I don't mean any disparagement toward it. I notice it creeping into the usage. I got a buddy that does it all the time at work, and I was like, well, wait, so. Yeah or no? He's like, yeah, no. And I'm like, well, hold on a second, man.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
I feel like that must have come from this. Like it must have come in here somewhere with the like the Polish history that the Wisconsin has the upper Wisconsin area is very like, and I think that's where that seems to have come from. It kind of bled down through Wisconsin, and now all of a sudden I do hear other people saying it, but it seems like it might be a Midwest thing. I really don't know.
I'm an East Coast guy, and it's definitely a thing here.
Yeah, I definitely think that it's if it hasn't gone international yet, it's probably gonna. Yeah. I guess it's sort of Australian if it's What was it? Yeah, nah.
Yeah, nah.
Okay, between your Australian friend and me, you were never gonna not start saying it.
Yeah, exactly.
Hear me saying yeah, no, yeah.
Do you also do the leg slap when it's time to go? Like, well,
Yes.
Well,
that's a Midwest thing. Also, I'm just taking these off.
What was there was a Midwest thing that I got Lori like she just ground the whole conversation to a screeching halt over when I said it, and I can't remember what it was. Was it ope? We ended up having to have a whole conversation about ope.
You sent me an image of ope on a screen, and I was like, what's an ope? Like, what is that?
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
And you had to explain it to me because I've never heard that before.
And it turned out like it's such a obvious concept in this specific part of the world. And I was like, this is easy to explain, and then it turns out it's really not easy to explain. But Charlie Barron's has a YouTube video on it, and I should have just sent you that, because the reason that I sent you the ope picture was because we were at the Charlie Barron's show. So I should have just sent you the video that Charlie Barron's made from the School of Ope.
I am trying not to scratch my face.
I know, I keep poking. Like, I keep getting poking. And then I got, like, black all over my fingers now, so. This whole makeup thing is really fun, but it's not without its downsides.
Yeah, I wish I would have done it. Like Russell, I was telling them earlier, I feel a little bit underdressed. I'm very motivated and enthusiastic individual, but I would have, had some prep time invested into it.
Yeah, you got to do it. You got to do it with them. Like, you can't go all out. It's like when you're on a stream with Travis, you have to kayfabe, and when you're on a stream with Lori, you have to cosplay.
I'll remember this next time.
Yeah, I guess I should. It was my bad. It was my fault. But I dropped the ball not telling you that we do cosplay on here.
I'm furious, Sarah.
It's totally my fault.
So here's the thing.
I'm just used to people knowing about that now.
Like 2 years ago when I was on a stream with them, it like slowly I feel has built in the last 2 years to like where it is now. Like, I did plenty of streams with you guys at the beginning of when I started doing streams with you that like was not cosplay heavy. And it's just gotten progressively more that it's like now I feel out of place if I'm not cosplaying on a stream with y'all. I think it was the time I did it and your face was exploded. Like, you had like there was like a science experiment and you like had like all the
Oh.
And I was
that's my Facebook picture right now, and I do believe it might be on this thing as well. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, I wondered about that, Sarah. You're like a Looney Tunes character in that photo. Like the Acme bomb just went off.
I told her she needs to use it as a dating profile picture. Like, just to see.
See who replies.
Oh, there it is. Okay, there's a team thing. Yes, this one here. Yeah.
Yes.
And I scrolled through a few times and totally missed it, and then just the other day I saw that it was there, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess. And then she puts this one on for herself.
What?
But in her defense, I don't have a good like flexing.
But that's
picture.
the logo. You know, Jerry West had to do the logo himself. So like when your picture is the logo, you got to do the logo.
That was my thinking.
Makes sense.
I mean, Russell looks kind of crazy too, in a good way. So I figured I would continue the craziness, right?
So, like, Russell, this looks like the picture of you here looks like if I'm at the convention and I see your table and you're goofing like this, I'm gonna come up to your table and talk to you and probably buy one of your things because people who just sit at their table and they never look up and they're like on their phones or they're reading or they're doing something, and unless they're drawing, that's the exception, because if they are doing commissions, that's different, because then you can stand there and watch them draw, and usually they don't mind as long as you ask them. But yeah, like for authors, if you're being silly and approachable, then I'm gonna come up to your table and talk to you and probably buy something of yours.
That is that's the goal. Underneath here. So this must have been my first show that I ever had this table, because I was doing free crappy drawings, and my friend Andrew next to me was sharing my table, who's one of our artists, and he's eating a ham sandwich or he's eating a
nice.
sandwich. Actually, I think he's a vegetarian. He was a vegetarian then, so he may be just eating a cheese sandwich. But yeah, there's an image somewhere of me the moment that I see one of my best friends at this show. My eyes light up, and I'm like getting out of my chair because I will like leap over a chair to find people if I need to. But yeah, I'm very animated at shows when I can be.
I'm the same. I'm like 20% more energy than on streams for sure. And then when I get done with it at the end of the day, and especially at the end of the weekend, I'm just like, I am done. Don't talk to me for 24 hours minimum.
Right.
Yeah.
They're so fun. Shows are so fun, but they are they're very exhausting.
Yeah.
Oh, and then Eric doesn't even have a real picture. He's not. This is what he actually looks like. This is actually a photograph of him. He doesn't.
He's just a cartoon at this point.
He's just yeah. He doesn't actually look like he's not human. He's a cartoon. All right. Yep. Okay, we'll just do it the fast way. There we go. See, again, with the no back to top button. Where's my back to top button?
I don't know, but you should refresh it.
Are we up? Are we up more? Are we up more?
Yeah.
Oh shit! We broke 2,000. Ah, my god.
Man, what a great start.
What's the record for a live stream? Do you know? That's not the Sundering, because we know that it was the Sundering.
Was it the
Sundering had a slow start, actually. No,
really?
I think it was. I think the fastest one we've had is actually Ian's art book, Ian Richardson, because everyone wanted commissions, and we had a limited amount, and we made $5,000 in about an hour because people wanted
if it was even
the
that
commission
long,
slots.
Yep,
it was so fast. Ian was just on stream, like trying not to cry. He was like, "I don't know what's happening."
He was just so sure that we would barely make our goal if we made it at all, and we're like, no dude, you're going to get gold. That's not even a question. How many stretch goals? That's the question. And yeah, and then it did. Oh man, he was very, like, you could tell he was very very touched, very emotional about it. It was, I mean, I kind of felt bad that he was on stream for, and there were, at least dozens of people watching at the time. And that's with like StreamYard's crappy analytics telling me live, because it'll tell me how many after the fact, but it's kind of crappy telling me as it's happening. But yeah, like, so it was very cool. And yeah, Medusa was, those were the two that we actually funded while the stream was still going, which was very cool.
Yes.
And
I would like to.
For Medusa, we did it too.
While the stream was still going. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Can we do that?
Oh, that would be great.
Seems possible, doesn't it?
The way things are going, yeah.
If it keeps going, yeah, that would be amazing.
I feel like I should ask if anyone has questions about this series, since like I don't know how much of many of these streams I'm gonna be able to do in the next month. So like, if you do have questions about the production of this series, this would be a good time to ask the editor, I guess, in chief of the series up until this moment.
Russell Nolte, editor, I guess, in chief. Cthulhu is hard to spell.
I don't know, because like I really don't feel like that. I feel like I've ceded more control. The first one was me, like I edited it, I did the whole thing. The second one I like brought in Chris, but I did most of the submission checking. The third one, like basically Chris did the submissions and she like built the book herself, and like I was like, this looks good, and I guess that is an editor-in-chief responsibility, but like, and now I'm just like, okay, I don't even, just do whatever you want, man, like however it's gonna be great. And so I don't know how to parse the first one though. The first, I guess, 2 books that you guys have on this campaign, I did the entire editorial and it nearly killed me. I swore I would never do it again, which is why Chris came on in the first place, because I sat down with her. She came to some, I don't know. She came to a thing that I was at, and we ended up having drinks together. And she's like, I really want to get back into comics. And I'm like, really? Because I have this book that I want to do, but I will never do it alone again. And so that book only exists in this form because of Chris helping me continue it on. And now it only exists in this form because Lori is taking it from here. So again, I feel like I had a lot of heartburn, but I didn't actually. I have done progressively less and less and less for each launch, which I guess is the point. But also, I feel bad taking responsibility for most of it. So that in chief is like, I guess technically in chief, but also, I don't know, barely editing at this point. Now I haven't even seen did you even talk about the new things? You said you were going to talk about the new things, Lori, and we didn't even talk about the new things.
The new stories?
Yeah. Well, do you want to? I mean, I haven't even seen the new stories except the 2 hours involved with. So like really, I have done nothing on this that it knew. Except say Glory is amazing and this is an amazing experience.
Yeah, so Russell has one.
I don't know if you want to jinx that part. I don't know. Did Nick get, like, I was talking?
He did. I just saw an email from him actually that it's complete. So I know that it's going in. Russell has a new story. That's
and
going in.
He hit the launch like within
he hit the
minutes.
Day. Yep. So thank you, Nick Touris, for managing to do that for us. Yeah, so there's gonna be a new story from Russell. There's gonna be a story from Fish Lee. There's going to be a story from Michael Norwitz. There might be one more story that's kind of in there's kind of a couple of last minute short ones that might go in before the end of the campaign.
I feel like
but yeah,
each get a story from D Fish. And
that's what I'm hoping. Yeah.
Yeah, because just for the sake that, like, I always confuse the two names. So if they're both in the story, if they're both in the book, I don't have to ever confuse. I'd be like, they're both there. You mean
exactly?
You mean D Fish or Fish Lee? Yes.
Both, exactly. Yeah, so each volume is going to have a couple new stories that we're adding, which I'm really excited about. Yeah, I don't know if we want to spoil more than that, but
I don't know. I would like you to forward the email to me that says the pages. I would like to see the pages of the story at some point. That'd be nice, but.
Yeah, I thought he sent it to you, so I'll forward it to you.
I don't know. I haven't looked at my Gmail, but I'm excited. I've not said anything because I've been like, please, Nick, please, just like, please,
just
please,
praying.
please. And yeah, so let's see. I'm gonna look into my email and see if I can see it. I'm not gonna share it, but I'm just gonna get like fresh eyes on this. Nope, I don't have it. Just a you.
Okay, I will forward it to you then.
And that's okay, because I did tell him, just forward it to Lori, just consulting on this. But I do kind of want to see it. So if you're part of the Cthulhu is Hard to Spell family already, then you would probably know that the biggest complaint that people got was that the two stories from the first two volumes, the covers didn't have a story inside. So what we have done for these new volumes is create a story each for the first cover and the second cover of the hard covers, this is now going to be very, very confusing, but yes, that's what we wanted to correct that issue that people had. And hopefully we have.
I do remember that, Russell.
Yeah, and Russell wrote some they're great. I'm excited for people to read them.
Well, and I had a quick comment that I wanted to make. We talked earlier about the epiglottal sounds of the names of the creatures, right? And the first thing is I'd like to chime in and say that's likely intentional, right? Like that's part of the unspeakable element of the unspeakable horrors, that the names can't be reproduced by the human tongue. But I also want to tell you that I cheated a little bit when I chose mine, because I chose Shathak, the mistress of the abyssal slime. And I chose it because I felt it might have been one of the easier ones to say. And I knew that I might be I might be getting asked some questions about it on podcasts and so forth. And not only that, but I also violated the Lovecraftian lore. And here's what I mean by that. She is described in the literature as an amorphous mass. And of course, our unspeakable horror was not amorphous. And she is also not a mass. She was even kind of bodacious, if you remember, Russell.
I do. I can tell a story about that one, but I won't.
Yes, she was too bodacious. The editors took issue with how bootylicious our unspeakable horror was.
So that's why when you laugh at that, when like the Stan Yak thing happened, I was like, oh yeah, that happens all of the time. Every book, people push the limits of, like, they think that because I have a bloody book in Ichabod Jones Monster Hunter that I'm not serious when I say no sex, no blood, no cursing, nothing more than Saturday afternoon violence. And every time I get like stories that I'm like, she's naked though.
Yeah, she was too naked, and that was something that was. I appreciate the editors there. It was easily adjusted with some coloring and some lettering to reduce the salaciousness of the unspeakable horror. So of course, that was the right call. That was my first time working with Mr. Renan Shoddy, by the way, who I've continued my relationship with that team, and I felt they did a great job. But that was one of those things, right, where I didn't really realize it until the editor pointed it out to me, and I was like, you got a point there. And I hadn't really, not to say that I'm unaware of the salacious elements, but it is something that hadn't occurred to me until after the editors mentioned it. And they were right. I do believe they are right in that instance.
Well, and like, I'm not anti-sex or violence or any of those things. I have plenty of those in my books. It's just
sure.
The thing that I heard over and over and over again with the first book was we with a monster book, they said they were upset they weren't able to read it with their kid. And with the Cthulhu book, they were very excited that they could read it with their kid. And like, everyone kind of has a spectrum of what they'll let their kids see. Some people are very okay with sex. Some are okay with sex and violence. Some are okay with just violence. But like, some are okay with cursing, but not the other stuff. So I figured, like, in the broad strokes, everyone can lets their kids watch probably like Saturday morning cartoons. So like, if you have that as the violence level, and then just don't have those things, like, everyone will be happy. And then adults can read these very, very twisted stories and still have their kids involved. And I was kind of horrified, I'll be honest, when I found out that so many young children read the Monster Anthology, because it's so violent, some of these stories. And some of these, like, the sweetest kids I've ever seen are like, I love this anthology. I'm like, but it says shit on the cover. And they're like, oh, we didn't know that. And we let them read it. And so, which is fine. Like, I don't know. I was watching Hellraiser when I was like 10. So like, whatever. But the Cthulhu book was meant to still be something that all people could enjoy, but also be able to indoctrinate someone new into the horror of Lovecraft, because Lovecraft is maybe the author with the highest bar to entry of any American author that has in the past 100 years, because he does things like he will reference a god in like 2 paragraphs of one book and then never mention them again, ever. And if you don't catch those 2 paragraphs, you just don't know about this book. And he'll do things like the entire book will be like, it'll be pretty by the numbers detective story, and then like the last 10 pages will be like a monster story. And then he won't describe the monster, because if you picture the monster, if you can picture the monster, you basically go insane. And so we wanted the book to be sort of like a monster manual that you could also give to people and say, if you want to learn more about Lovecraft, this is a very low barrier to entry way where you can learn about the gods and the monsters and kind of their relations to each other. And will it all work out? No, because like there's a story of Orn and Numqua in marriage counseling, and you're like, well, that didn't actually happen, but you do now know that those two characters are married in the Lovecraft universe.
Yeah.
Like you learn that like Shub Niggurath is like has a bunch of children because in one of the stories you find her in the woods and like she just has a baby thing with like hundreds of pictures in it of like her children. And like you see all of these characters and kind of what their natural habitat in Lovecraft would be, even though situationally it would be something that never happened in the Lovecraft universe, which helps young children learn. It also helps adults learn about the universe and then be able to bring that back into further enjoyment of the book. And the biggest challenge was then taking all of this work and making it something that Lovecraft fans would also love, which was super hard because you had to service young kids, people that don't know Lovecraft, and then hardcore Lovecraft fans. And frankly, the Lovecraft fans generally tend to gravitate towards the darker, more adult book stories anyway.
Right.
But a lot of them did also appreciate the subversions on the tropes of Lovecraft and that the gods had. So it was a lot of things to balance, which is why when I talked to Lori before this, I was like, there's a lot of rules to doing this book that made it. It's like not just an anthology. It's a whole bunch of like little things. But what you never see in the Lovecraft universe is stories about the gods. Because in Lovecraft's canon, to learn about the gods is to go insane. My thesis statement on that was we are already insane. And we deal with Lovecraftian horrors like 5 a day, like AI is a Lovecraftian horror if I ever seen one, and like we are all fine. So we probably could just learn about the gods and nothing would change in our lives.
Yeah. Reasonable. Yeah.
Makes sense.
By the way, this story that Nick sent is so funny. I don't even remember what I wrote in it. I'm just looking at the pages and they're so like I laughed so hard.
Yeah, just with no letters on it. It's it's great.
Yeah, so now I can say that I have a new story in this edition. So if you're just here for the Russell Nolte show, there's more Russell Nolte story in this book too. So now you got to get it.
Yeah, this is awesome.
I mean, as Tim was talking, I was reading the story and laughing. And I wasn't laughing at you, Timothy. I was laughing at the story.
Hey, you can laugh at me, man. I'm a comical sort of fella. I will say, man, the campaign is off to a great start. I've got to drop out here shortly to go and make some spaghetti. The extra ingredient will be unspeakable horror tonight. But I just want to make a quick comment, which is thank you very much for including me. And thanks to Russell, special thanks. Man, it was just an honor to contribute to this project. I think it is a fabulous project. If any viewers are out there and they're kind of on the fence, maybe because you're not sure about Cthulhu or you're not sure about Lovecraft, there's lots of U-turns. There's lots of unexpected surprises in these books, and there's literally something for everybody. So I have to recommend it in the highest possible terms, and you can expect my enthusiastic support. So thank you once again. Yeah, it really meant a lot to me. And it was nice to meet you, Sarah, and nice to see you again, Laurie.
You too.
Nice meeting you too. Thank you for coming.
It is my pleasure. Have a great evening, everybody.
You too. Okay. What was I doing? Oh yeah. So somebody's watching for the painted figures.
He's excited.
I wonder why.
I was actually looking for that too because I was hoping.
I was watching for that too.
Mm-hmm.
It's this is the setup for it. Why am I looking at it on a different screen? when I could look at it on here. Pledge levels, right? There it is. Now, go back. Yeah, you can see how many backers, like we can
nicely
see.
laid out.
Yeah, and it's just, yeah, it's super tidy and easy to figure out. And
Can you back multiple instances of the same thing? Like, could I back 2 of these, or do I have to only back 1 of them?
You pick one in like a pledge tier, and then you can add shit on.
Cool.
I think.
I know with another one, you can pick multiple instances of the same thing. So.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, I don't know how to figure it out.
I guess we should try and see if we can, because I don't actually know. But yeah, I do like how nice and tidy it is. Except that, like, I'm feeling a little like this is bugging me here. This one, it's like,
we need another reward.
There, why did you do this to me? Why are there only 11? But yeah, it's nice. You can see which one is the popular one. Like, obviously, everybody wants to get in for that early bird, which. If I was just backing, that's where I would go to, right? Like, right straight to that. If I've been waiting for it and I want that, that would be the one that I'd go for immediately. Yeah. So now we're all set for at least. I absolutely love these. I wish we could, like, if we had the ability to, like, just to send it off to a, big time manufacturing and get 1,000 of them printed. Then we could charge less for them, but that's a little much for us just yet. Like, hopefully in a couple of years we can do that kind of stuff. Like,
but then we can't pay Keith, so we'd rather
we'll still pay Keith. We would still pay him for royalties, but yes, you get a lot more royalties. Like, everything, all the like everything is going to producing this stuff. So that's kind of typical for every campaign, though. Kickstarter, backer kit, whatever, is like, when you look at the funding goal, that's always like, that's how much it's going to cost for us to, break even on it. And then when every stretch goal you get, we're still having to cover the stuff that we're adding on for the stretch goals. So it'd be so cool if we could just give everybody what they wanted and make some money off of it. That'd be awesome.
Hey, that's the goal, right?
Yeah, I am all for making the money on it too. But it's just fun. I don't, if you're an art type person, it's just fun making stuff. And I think that more, like, obviously we all need some money to exist, but I think that for me, it's just really cool seeing how many people love this project and want this copy of this project for and I get to be a part of it. That's what's, like, really cool for me. Is like, of course I want to make money, but I also really like seeing that people like our stuff.
Yeah.
And when Lori said she wanted to do the figurine, she wanted to have a themed figurine, and so I went on the hunt for it and totally stumbled across it. Just like, it was at first, I found Keith on My Mini Factory, and there's, like, I messaged a whole bunch of people and only a couple of them responded, and I was being super picky about what quality I was gonna grab for this, because we wanted something that was good. And this, I think that I like this one the most because it just looked so much like Stan's art too. Like this,
it does, yeah.
Baby Cthulhu sitting there, and Keith's. I
honestly thought it was made uniquely for this when I first saw it. I was like,
that's what it'll be. Is what will be for next time. This time it's a very it's not hard. It's not easy to get your hands on it. This is a definitely exclusive because you can't just get a figurine of it. He made the rendering of it beforehand, but you can't just buy a figurine anywhere. That's only gonna be here. And of the people that I sent messages to, I was like, it it was Keith and one other person that I saw their work, and I was like, I kind of want one of these two people to respond. So I was super excited when Keith responded, and he was actually continuing to respond after, because I also sent a message. I responded back to the person that other person that responded, and then they never wrote back again. So I was pretty excited when this worked out for us, because it just it looks like it was made for this campaign. Like it was perfect. It's just such a good fit. But next time, yeah, we're all we started to talk about working together for future projects, and how it'll definitely be a I don't know if I would want to be saying that it's exclusive, but it's certainly going to be something that's going to be made for this campaign. Like I don't want to take that away from any artist. They're making it exclusive, then we would have to pay them. We had to compensate them fairly for that, and that doesn't seem.
Sure.
It doesn't seem like something I would want to do, because I don't want to take that away from the creators.
Yeah. So what I love about this figure is he's
fail here.
What I love about this figure is he's clearly going to eat you, but he's going to feel bad about it. He's definitely going to eat you. Like there's no doubt he's going to eat you, or they're going to eat you. But they will not be happy afterwards. Like they know it's going to give them indigestion, but they're going to do it anyway.
Oh.
I like to think of this one. I was thinking about all the different scenarios you might see this little guy in, and I was thinking that maybe this is baby Cthulhu, and you're seeing the mommy or daddy Cthulhu, and they're gonna be feeding them a person, like a baby bird or something. I was thinking about that one too. Or how a kitten catches their first mouse and doesn't quite know what to do with it. You could run across a situation like that too, but with baby Cthulhu and a person.
That does sound very adorable. That's an adorable idea there.
That's right, but
that's awesome. So I'm just excited that we found someone who's, and this is something for me that I try to find with all of the people we collaborate with UHS, is someone who's actually really excited to do shit with us and work with us and is excited about the project. And I love that immediately Keith was excited. So anytime Keith wants to do figures with us, I'm let's do it. Yes. You're our favorite. We love you. So
yes, nice. Definitely. It was the level of excitement, and then I told him, I talked to him, and then he got excited about it, and then I got excited because he was excited, and then I was telling Lori, and then Lori was excited, and every single time we sent him a new message, we're like, oh man, I hope he responds really quickly, and I want to know the answers to all these questions. It was it was a little bit like middle school and waiting to hear if you get to go to Disneyland or something.
Right.
We were excited.
Yeah, exactly.
We have a feline situation over here. I just have to yell at my cat.
It happens. It's part of the gig.
I smeared my makeup again. Yeah. He's old and deaf. Oh god, now I made him come over here. I have to shout at him, otherwise he doesn't hear. He's coming over. It's the cat Cthulhu. Are you coming up? Don't knock me over. There he is. Old man. Nope, you can't sit like that. You gotta sit down.
What?
There you go.
Did it work?
I think maybe. No, he does not want. This is maybe
generally they don't want to be told where to sit. So when you try to sit them, I've never had success with that technique.
Yeah. Twee was the exception for me. He would do as long as he could sit, as long as he could be touching, he was happy to be sitting. All right, see, now you're just knocking stuff over. I got 1,000 paint bottles here, and he's whipping his tail and knocking it over.
So weird. So the landing page doesn't redirect to the page when it's live? So odd.
It doesn't?
Nope, because I have it in my email, and I was just about to send one out, and I was like, let me just test and see if this will actually go to the real page. It did not.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
If you have
I guess
anything
that-
set up in the future, you should check that.
Yeah, should probably mention maybe we'll send a help ticket or something because
Like the countdown landing page doesn't redirect?
When you click, so I had it set to whatever the / landing was, and when I sent people to it, I expected it like on Kickstarter to redirect to like the live campaign, and it did not do that.
Yeah, that's dumb. Okay.
Yeah.
Letting you know, I have a feeling that you may have scheduled things in advance, and if you did that, don't do that. It's not going to work.
Crap. Well, I mean, they do say it's a beta version, so it's a
Yeah.
My bad. It's a beta version. It's not a beta version. It's not a fish.
I mean, just letting you know, because I would have scheduled 50
interesting.
things in the future, and I would have thought that it would redirect, and it does not. Now I'm going to send this. Now I got to send it to myself just to make sure before I send it out.
Yeah.
All right, I want to get over 3,000. We got $350 left. Let's get over 3,000.
Whoops.
So close.
That's not what I wanted. There we go. So
One more
is that
minifig.
like we promise we'll shut up if we get to 3,000?
Well, Lori and there's another instance that I'm supposed to be at 4:00, and I don't know if I'm gonna do that because I'm here, but like I sure would love to get to 3,000 before I have to get off to this other instance. That'd be good.
We can
That's
do it.
more what I was saying.
So close. It's so close.
It's really because just one more minifig, or one more fig, and like a regular email. All right. Okay, that redirected that's now going properly. Second link. And third.
Whoa.
All right. I think this is all going correctly now.
Music is starting. Is the very suspenseful music that was amping up everybody's heart rate here a while ago is no longer having that effect on me.
Well, we've been live for a long time. How long do you normally do these?
You know what? When it comes to the live stream launch parties, we just go until everybody peters out. So, like,
Yeah.
The one exception I believe is when we and I'm gonna blame Matt Frank for this because he manages to keep the energy up, and so like everybody's still like, yeah, we can keep going, and then we end up on here for 2.5 hours, and we're like, okay, you know what? That was the day that we were on for, and we had we actually funded during the stream, and it was kind of a long stream. It must have been almost 3 hours, right? I think it was. But yeah, we were just like, everybody was still having fun, and we were fine, and then we're like, you know what? We need to stop, otherwise nobody's going to get anything done for the rest of their day. So let's just say, and it was by that point everybody had noticed that we were nearly to goal. And so we're like, okay, let's just wait, and if we get goal here in the next half hour, then we'll quit as soon as we're done with the goal. And that was the only time that we were like, that we had to cut it off otherwise. Because, yeah, otherwise these things tend to kind of thankfully come to a natural end without us needing to force it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like getting to 3,000 would be really cool.
Under 300 to go. We now
So
are
close.
less than one minifig away.
And 30
One
backers.
fig away. I don't know why I keep calling it one custom fig away. Custom painted figure away.
Custom painted and hand painted, like every single one is going to be a little bit different because they're all done by hand by a very, very skilled artist, if I may point that out.
Very skilled. Guild. I mean, these look so dope. Hey, I guess you started ads.
Is your feed full of them now?
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, I saw you make a comment about all the ads that you were getting, Russell, and I never did see any of the pre-launch ads in my feed, and I was a little disappointed because I was like multiple feeds from multiple platforms, and I never saw one.
Yeah.
And I feel like that would have been a prime target. Like, wouldn't it have been easy to throw one at me and spend the money on somebody who was definitely already aware of it? But I'm really not sure how these algorithms work, so whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. I probably went to the pre-launch page and then just started scrolling, and they probably have a retarget. This is not something that people want to hear about, like how advertising works. Like, absolutely, there's no way that people want to hear about how advertising.
I mean,
what is riveting?
I want to know how the freaking algorithm works, because it doesn't make sense. Like, stuff like that seems like it makes sense right up until the point where something happens and then it doesn't make sense anymore. Like, I don't understand these damn algorithms. And
yeah, I don't think anyone does.
I think that's the point too, because if we understood them, then we could game them to our what's the word? Our
algorithm to the
benefit.
real Lovecraftian horror.
Right? I feel like that would be too boring to throw into the book somewhere, because I don't know how you'd illustrate that, but it definitely. We need to come. What would the Lovecraftian name for the algorithm be?
Algorithm.
Right, just.
I mean, just
with some apostrophes.
Just al.
Yeah.
Just
algorithm. Algorithm. Algorithm.
I like it.
Somebody needs to write that. Everybody get on that. If only I could do. If I could write anything that was even marginally good without having to put in so much brain effort. Like, I have to like just push my stupid head and to make it do the thing that I want it to do. And that's why I don't write, because it's too much. I could do like one story and then I'm done for a year. And that's
sure.
and even then it's not going to be that good of a story. I mean, well, that's I've
luckily as an editor you can find writers to do that work if you want.
That is true. I wrote recently, and it was like 3 years ago, but I wrote one story, and I didn't even manage to finish it on my own. I had to get Katie to help me.
Didn't you draw a story for the last Elsewhere book?
I did. It was 2 pages long, though, so it was...
That was a story, though, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure a 2-page story is still a story. It had a beginning...
It is.
I mean, it appeared in the thing. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you're not giving yourself enough credit.
It didn't have any words. Yep. It didn't have. I was looking at. I got inspired by somebody else's story. So does everyone. And I'm literally
this entire anthology collection is inspired by someone else's story.
That's true.
Multiple stories.
I got inspired, and then I scribbled down the ideas, and it doesn't have any.
That's literally writing comics. You just wrote a comic. That's exactly what it is.
It took so long to turn that scribbled right. That's the part where I get like.
That's comics.
It's hard to have an idea, but then I have to spend like it just seems like my head doesn't want to go in.
Yes, that's comics.
But then there's like the beautiful time of the broken brain thing when you get hyper-focused.
That's also comics.
The hyper-focus, that's when you get shit done. And that's the only time I get shit done, I swear.
You just described coming up with an idea for a comic, writing that comic, and then drawing that comic.
Okay, that's fair, but then why is this so difficult? Why can't I do anything else forever after that? Why do I have to wait 3 years to have another idea? That's my problem. It's not so much if I thought that putting in all that effort would be productive and lead me to another story, then I'd be much more likely to jump into it again.
Algorithm. Go write it. then draw.
That's fair, but that like
write and draw and
that's like with credit to you and Lori because that you helped me refine that idea.
So you don't have to credit. Yes, exactly.
Not a writer. I'm a graphic designer. Not
you can do both.
Every bit of that is what it like. The reason it takes you a long time is because you haven't exercised that muscle, and you need to exercise that muscle if you want to exercise that muscle.
Oh, you know how much I hate exercising, Lori.
Yeah, but you can exercise that muscle while eating donuts. So it's actually a good muscle to exercise. I don't know, like.
All right, that's fair. I could do.
That's a good point.
I could do that. That one's better. That's better than like physical exercise. But and like all joking aside, I am really proud of my story that was in Elsewhere last year. It was 2 pages long, and it took ages for me to draw and get it to where I was happy with it. And I am very happy with it. I actually want to. I'm gonna have to build a frame for it, but I want to get it printed out in like one big sheet because it's only 2 pages, and have it just as a something. I have a spot.
Hey Sarah, how many pages is it? You haven't said anything about how many pages it is, though.
I could have made it less pages. That's the best part.
Yes, you could literally make things 1 page, and you know what? That's still a story, and that's still a comic. My next first collaboration was 1 page.
I would not have been able to do one that was more than that. See, the first story that I ever had in Elsewhere was actually a collaboration with Katie.
You had more than 1 story? I don't know, man.
Technically,
I think you're a writer.
See?
I'm certainly not doing it for money. If that's where
Congratulations, you're a writer. That's a writer.
That must be the problem. See, I've got my parents who are all like, if you don't get paid to do it, then you're not a professional, right? And that's what's in my head, screaming at me, going, "No, Russell, you're wrong. I'm not."
I never said anything about you being a professional writer. I said you're a writer. But you are also a professional writer because your books have been published. Your work has been published. You're a professional. Congratulations. And I'm sorry.
No, Katie, don't you be helping his point. You're supposed to be my friend. Look at Katie over here, like all like defending Russell's point and shit.
Yeah, there you go. This person, whoever just put, like, I don't know. I don't have to make this point anymore. Like, whether you want to be a writer or not, you are. It's happened.
I'd like to think that I'm an artist who writes sometimes. I guess writers are artists, but I mean a graphic designer who writes and draws sometimes. But
cool. I'm a writer who draws and graphic designs sometimes. Like, you gotta get over the labels, man. Like,
maybe I don't know. I guess it's just I am feeling like that I'm not a writer because the amount of effort that I feel that I have to put into it seems to exceed the amount of effort that other people put in, and I admit that fully. I fully well know that it doesn't. Just because it looks like you're doing it more easily than I'm doing, it doesn't mean that you're not internally screaming and privately pulling your own hair out of your head. And,
I'm not, but I've been doing this for a long time. Like,
did you pull your own hair out when you first started?
I mean, I've written all of those. That's a lot. Hopefully, I'm not pulling my hair out still when I write things, but it took a long time. I mean, it's a long time to like become a writer, just like to become a graphic designer, or I guess I'm a web host. I'm a webmaster now. Like, I don't know. I've put together. At what point? Once you're doing a thing, once you've built like 100 websites, are you then like a website designer? Because like I've never done it for another person, but like I have built like probably close to 100 websites, and so I guess I'm a website designer.
I think that's according to Russell's definition. I think that still makes you a writer, Keith. Even if it's unfinished, you're still a writer.
Yes, writers do not finish all of the work that they do.
I think that anybody who says they finish all the work they do, whether or not you're a writer, artist, architect, no matter what, and if you say that you complete 100% of the projects you start, then you are. What you actually are is a liar.
Yeah.
Because I don't know anybody who's completed 100% of the projects they started.
Yeah. Well, are you talking about that you start over the course of your career? Then I would agree with you. Over the course of a smaller span, I think maybe it could be 100%.
I'm talking about like in general, like the grand scope. Yeah. Like if you start if you start something and you finish every single thing that you start, I don't think that's possible.
Sure.
And I mean, when do you say, like, if you start a project and then it has to dramatically change direction, is that also, is that considered you are abandoning the original project, or are you just, like, it's like that philosophical question of, if you buy a car and then eventually over the course of the years replace every single part, is it still the same car? Like, is it still the same project? Did you abandon, because technically you abandoned the original project to take it into a new direction, but is it still the same project, you know? See, this is why we can't go for 3 or 4 hours on these streams, because I start losing my goddamn mind.
I was just gonna say, like, I think that's my level of, like, my eyes just went glassy, and I was like, I think that's.
There's a point at which I become. Yeah, I become aware of the fact that I'm not making any sense, and then I'm like, oh, okay, we gotta end now. This has gotta be done. Alright. Now, you know she just went and looked in a book to make sure that was accurate. I know your tricks, Katie. Yes. I wrote The Seeker, and I wrote The Seeker. Katie helped me finish The Seeker, so Katie also gets writing credit on that. We wrote The Seeker, but I lettered it, and Katie drew it, and I feel like she might have gotten the bulk of the work there, because it just seemed like I wrote like 75% of it really fast, and then I stalled and wrote a really crappy ending, but she helped me fix it so that it wasn't so crappy. And then she spent ages on the art. And then I like spent like maybe 2 more hours on putting in the letters. I felt bad because I was like, I should be doing more for this.
Yeah, that's also writing. Okay, you've now given like a dozen examples of what being a writer is like. So like, I'm
not gonna fight with you anymore on it. I'm not gonna try to insist that I'm not a writer anymore. I see your point and I concede, because
nice.
Yeah.
That's all I ever wanted, was people to know that I'm right about everything.
As long as you win, it's okay. No, that's the problem.
That's why, as long as people know that I'm right. Many times, people will not admit that they are wrong. As long as they admit I'm right, that's okay.
Is it a self-esteem thing, or is it some kind of a broken, like, I'm so stuck on attitudes that don't really make sense anymore that I would say that I'm not a writer when I have written stuff?
I don't know.
It's interesting. I don't know.
Most artists are pretty self-deprecating about their own work, so I would say probably it's some of that.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Like, what? Yeah, I don't think that I ever started saying things like, I'm happy with this, until maybe 5 years ago.
Sure. Definitely being happy with something is not necessary to be a writer or an artist or a creator of any kind. I am sure. I'm not sure what makes you a writer or what makes you an artist, but I am sure liking your work is not one of those things.
Definitely. Yeah, that is definitely true.
Speaking of, go back our book.
We're very close to 3,000. Like, it's right there. We're kissing the 3,000 mark there. And 32 backers.
Book. I just sent my email out, so hopefully you'll get a thread in there of people.
Use me.
And coffee also. I apparently have this copy, so otherwise if I don't have it in front of me, I will forget that it exists right here. And then I'll be sitting under a pile of stuff, and they'll be like, what smells like stale coffee in 3 months?
Even stale coffee smells good. I don't know. It would be disappointing to have let the coffee go stale, but even stale coffee smells pretty good, so I think I would be okay with that. Finding an old coffee on my desk 6 months after I put it there, which also seems like a thing that I would do.
I like the taste of coffee when it's mixed with a whole bunch of other things.
Like what things?
Like sugar and milk.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like Pepsi or something. I was like, okay,
No!
like...
No, no. Like I like a nice iced coffee, you know.
Sure.
You put the
All
sugar
right.
and the milk and the ice. So it still tastes like coffee, but it's not like the just unadulterated flavor of coffee.
Sure. See, I like me some just taste of coffee, but I am a coffee snob, which is hard because decaf coffee is generally not very good. So to be a coffee snob, but to primarily drink decaf is very hard.
Yeah. I actually haven't even bothered to try decaf in a long time, so I don't even know what the different tastes are. I should try and try some decaf
you could
again.
have some of this coffee. There you go.
It seems like the apt time to try. See, I can't tell you. I think this was regarding the Cthulhu coffee. I was making more art for Lori for it, and I pointed it out to Jeffrey, and he is a huge coffee snob as well. He like gets one of those like coffee boxes delivered every month and everything.
Yeah.
And I bought some local coffee because we had guests over who also wanted coffee, so I bought some local coffee that is not good enough, I guess, because it has sat up in the cupboard on a high shelf ever since the company came and went. But
Sure.
Anyway, I showed him that, and he's looking at it, and he's all excited. He's like, "Are you going to get some?" And I was like, "I can. We can totally get some." And then he looks at it more carefully, and he's like, wait. Cthulhu is hard to caffeinate. And it's just the face, his face just fell. He's just like you could see the air come out of him. He was so
Our
crushed.
friends at Onishi Press do have caffeinated versions of theirs, and they have hot cocoa as well on their website, I believe.
Hot cocoa.
Yes.
I do like me some hot cocoa.
Well, next time we'll have to have coffee that is multiple kinds of Cthulhu coffee. But only if people are saying we need to have caffeinated coffee. Like, can only give the masses what they ask for.
And yeah, it needs to be in demand, but we can definitely do that. We can definitely come up with.
You can make Cthulhu is easy to caffeinate.
Right.
Cthulhu is super caffeinated.
I want, so if we do super caffeinated, we need to do a live stream where we give Lori some of it, because it's like a teaspoon of coffee, of regular coffee, and you have to peel her off the ceiling. So I want to see that with like espresso, like Cthulhu espresso for Lori, and just have a little shot of it, and then just watch her go insane.
See, that's why I liked the decaf. They asked me if I wanted caffeinated, and I was like, "Nah, you got caffeinated covered. Like, I'll do the decaf version."
We're so close. Look at how close
We're so
we are.
close. 29.
I know. We were just chit chatting about other things, and it keeps going up and up and up and up and up.
Yeah, we're gonna start talking about the advertising techniques unless somebody gets us up to that 3,000, and then we promise we'll shut up.
Don't click off if you're upset about hearing about advertising techniques. You have to listen, and then don't click that unsubscribe button if we start talking about it. You have to just go and back the campaign. It's the only recourse you have.
Right.
Somebody should get us there, so that, because what we have here is a situation where makeup has gotten into my eye, and now it's just like my eye is just weeping.
But we made the rule. We could just make a different rule. It'd just be like, now we're ending. Bye. Just
but it's so close.
This is anarchy.
The advantage of being adult is that one advantage is anarchy.
Listen, Russell. Next year is 2024, and I am going to be writing your name in for president. and I suggest you all do the same. Because
no, please do not do that. Please do, unless you are in a very, 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 very safe area of the country. Please do not do that. I cannot condone that.
Well, it looks like we have new people coming in and watching. So if you want to flip through the campaign real quick and show everything off again, and we can play the trailer again.
This one, nice and easy. I love this little menu here. I'm definitely happy with that. It's seems easier. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being too excited, but it seems easier.
I like it.
Anyway, where did the limited? Oh, there it is. See, that's so cool. Yeah, limited early bird stuff gets you a few bucks off of the 3-packs here. So definitely do those if you're here for the books. But then we got, all right. Can I make these bigger? Is that gonna make it look uglier if I make it bigger? Does that look terrible?
That's very large, but no, it's
too
fine.
much. There we go. This is better. Digital, $10 a pop. Physical, $25 a pop. Socks. I do love the socks. I hope that we get to the stretch goal that gets more socks.
Yes.
55 and 120 gets you all of this stuff. That's like the merch pack, with the exception of the figurine, because like we said, handmade, like they're printed individually and hand painted. That'd be cool if we could give it that, make it that price, but then we'd lose a lot of money. So cute. Retail packs are fun. Okay, now it's too big for the socks. It's still too big for the socks. They're not clickable, Lori.
Aww.
I think so much. It reminds me of, do you remember that like CGI spider that was all the rage like a couple of years ago? It had like the big eyes. Anyway, that's what it reminds me of.
It was like a jumping spider?
It was like, yeah, it was like a cute little, I don't know, CGI spider thing.
I think we're like $20 off, by the way.
Really?
We're so close.
We are.
Look at it.
And then we can like
off.
let Russell eat some lunch, and we can take a break and send some emails, and oh, there it is.
Yay!
It's there!
Yay!
We've done it.
Katie wants to know what roles are we playing in our cult with these costumes. Are we starting a cult? Which I don't know about you, Lori, but I am way too lazy to be starting a cult. So, and you probably don't have any time for that. Cults are very time consuming. I've heard.
I mean,
but
I do think I would be a good old god, because I do need all the attention to be on me all of the time. And generally when people hear what I have to say, their eyes roll back in their head and like they can't comprehend stuff. So I think I would be a perfect old god in this cult. I even have the website cultofrussell.com, so like you can make that happen.
It's all set up. So you do that, and then I'm like your hype man, right? So I set up all like the sacrifices and
and I'm doing the stabbing. I'm doing the yeah. Okay, I won't do that again. But like I'm doing the sacrificing. I guess like I'm the boots on the ground doing the stabbing.
Yeah, that sounds great. I don't want to do the stabbing. I'm an idea deity. Ideity.
Right. I like that.
Nice. That's your job title. Write it, print it.
The actual official job title that I have at Wannabe Press is Benevolent Deity.
But are you benevolent? Are we talking about like?
I want to be press. I am overall. I don't know.
I mean, I guess I was thinking of you as like chaotic neutral. Like you're not good or bad. You just are.
No. There's so like if you were in the wannabe press community, like I'm very, very, very benevolent. I'm very, very benevolent. Nothing but love for people in the community. Outside of that community, nebulous. But I guess now inside the UHS community, also benevolent with both of those.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
as I bring in more partners like those communities, I then am benevolent to them as well by extension.
Me.
By the way, it's Lucas. Lucas the spider was what I was thinking of.
Lucas. Okay, if I Google that, am I gonna know what you're talking about? Because I feel like I should know.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. It is a little jumping spider. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I do remember him. He's so cute.
Oh. I mean, I'm really not a fan of spiders, but he is pretty cute as spiders go.
Sure.
Yeah. We had a real version of the spider.
We have successfully made it to $3,000, which was the arbitrary number that we said we would use.
I'm CGI. I'm not in face paint.
It's a filter.
Yes, yeah. We're letting people
filter.
go. We're letting people go now. We're not going to torture you all for 3 hours. It's fine.
I mean, we could if people are into that and they're going to give us money, like we could do that.
It's true. I would stay on if people were still willing to give me money. I am. Right. That is exactly how I am.
Oh no. Okay. So yes, we should go because we do have other things we need to do, and we should leave before I dig a hole and then put myself into it, because that's what happens when I get this amount of.
I definitely think we're all punch drunk here. Like,
you know, it happens. It's the lights.
I think it's time. We're definitely punch drunk.
Yeah. So, but anyway, thank you. $3,049.37 backers, and we're only a couple hours into this. That is so cool. And I am so grateful to everybody who's backed and everybody who's not backed but's gonna, and everybody who can't back but is gonna like and share, because remember what we said, if you like and you comment and you share on your social media, it still helps. It really does. I know you think it doesn't. Sometimes people say that can possibly help very much, but it does. So do that
all helps
for us. We love it when you do that.
It all helps.
And it gives us the warm fuzzies. Like, we love that other people are seeing our stuff. It's pretty cool. So, that, and there was something else that I was going to say, but it went away. It's like, so, it must not have been that important. Yeah,
shall we close out with the trailer?
Let's do that. I know everybody wants to watch the trailer one more time. And thank you, Russell. And Timothy is gone now, but we appreciate that Timothy came and sat with us and chatted with us for a bit with that. And everybody who's contributed to the book. It's very exciting. So thank you so much. Yeah, come back on Monday for our regular show. I don't know what we're doing, though, because I didn't look. So bye!